Today I'd like to talk about compassion fatigue and some self-care strategies. So if you're a person who works with other people's pain, by that somebody who perhaps is in residential care for different populations, 911, nurses, doctors, respiratory therapists, radiologists, the people who deal with other people who are in pain, who witness other people's pain. Veterinarians have a really hard time with compassion fatigue because of the work that they do. If you're in one of these fields, your nemesis is compassion fatigue. It's an insidious thing because it builds up over time, and it's hard for us to see it in ourselves. Other people can tell that there's something wrong with us, but it's not so bad that they're overreacting or they're reacting strongly. Like if you're having a heart attack and falling out, people notice, but this is different. Well, the number one thing that you can do to guard against compassion fatigue is called compassion satisfaction. And that is paying attention to how good it feels to truly help somebody. Because in our work, we do sometimes really get to help somebody, don't we? But sometimes things do go right, and we do have a good outcome. So we need to pay attention to these things. So if you're struggling, if you're feeling a sense of disgruntlement, feeling as though things just aren't going right, overtired, getting sick easier, like getting head colds and stomach aches and headaches easier than you're used to, that kind of thing, you might want to pay attention. No. That was a real weak way to say it, wasn't it? You need to pay attention. You need to take care of yourself because you're the only one like you we got. You need to. And this is how I recommend that you start. So the first thing I would recommend is if you're struggling and you don't think that you really need to go get a counselor, but you do feel like you need to do something, this is where I want you to start. I want you to start keeping a journal. Log down 3 things every day that you did right, but don't just write it down. I want you to think about those things, or if you can't feel what it feels like to be so thrilled that you're able to help somebody, I want you to remember a time when you did feel that. I want you to notice what it feels like in your body to really know that you have helped someone. And I want you to close your eyes and think about that and stay with that physical sensation for as long as you can keep it going. Sometimes we can keep it going for a good half a minute. Do this every day. Another thing that I would recommend that you do is take a look at your own personal habits of self-care. So, are you eating right? Are you exercising? Are you getting enough rest? Are you drinking enough water? And you're the one who can answer that. It's not for me to tell. It's for you. And if something needs to be improved, decide what it is that needs to be improved first. A lot of times when it's physical stuff, people think that exercising is the best thing to do. And it might be. For me, drinking water was. But we're all different. Everybody's different. Every body is a different body. So pay attention to what you want to do, and then I want you to think about the absolute smallest thing you can do, the smallest step that you can take in that direction, and commit to taking just that step. Now, certainly if you commit to the first step, you can take the second, third, and fourth step if you want to. But if you commit to doing just that one thing, and keep that commitment every day, you will eventually develop a habit. It changes our identities when we do the same thing every day. So do this every day. And to turbocharge that, connect with somebody else. and have an accountability partner. You definitely need to track it, and you need to celebrate that you're tracking things. If you've done all these things and you've been consistent for about 3 weeks, maybe a little longer, and you're still feeling the same way, you're still disgruntled, you still are having a hard time sleeping, you're still not well, then I recommend that you go see a doctor, first get checked out physically, and then if that's not helping, then go see a counselor. Go see a counselor, because compassion fatigue is a serious emotional condition, a mental health condition. It doesn't mean that you have a mental illness. It's a mental health condition that you can work through. But sometimes we need help. Sometimes we just need help. We need somebody to walk with us. You are certainly worth the effort. You are certainly worth taking the time to pay attention to your own well-being. And if you're not struggling and you're in one of these occupations, go ahead and start that compassion, satisfaction habit now. So maybe you don't ever get to that disgruntled part. Or when you get there, it's a very short-lived, brief thing. What happens when we feel that compassion satisfaction is that it triggers a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is nicknamed the love hormone. It's the hormone that helps us be able to feel connected to love. So it's a powerful exercise to do. I recommend it for you. I recommend that everybody pay attention to what really feels good and what really lights them up and what really connects them to love. Because when we get right down to it, love is what we have. Love is what it is. So I hope this is helpful to you. Let me know what you think. I love comments. I love feedback. If you think that this is beneficial, like and share, because that's what good people do on the internet. And if you need to talk to me, go to www.talktoedie.com. TalkToedie.com. Schedule a 15-minute call with me, and we'll talk about what, if anything, I can do to help you and your team, or you and or your team. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Your attention is a powerful, powerful gift that you have shared with me, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it.